LE Radio Live. Um, and hello, everyone. So I guess I'll start this way. So, Stony, go ahead and introduce yourself and just give us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Tony Godley. I'm the owner, CEO of SGC House of Fashion, which is a design house that is in house. I design fashion for women over 50. I am also a fitness and bodybuilder that I also advocate for women, of course, over 50 to get into a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you have to be muscular, you just have to be fit. And that's where that's one of the other things that I do. The other thing is I'm a makeup artist and a hairstylist. So I try to incorporate several different types of lifestyling into one fold for the woman that's over 50, because oftentimes I feel like we're left out of the loop when it comes to fashion and hair and relationships and just the whole nine. So that's what I do.
Okay.
Who's next?
We're gonna
Excellent.
go
Thank
down
you
there
so much
to
for that. So,
I'm gonna go last.
huh?
Go ahead, Sin. I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome back. I don't know if everybody remembers me that's tuning in, but I've been a part of Les Elegance, working with Don and Mister and everybody else, the others that aren't here to join us. Let's see. I act, I write, I produced and starred in my first film last year. It's been in a couple of film festivals, so hope to get back to that after Corona kind of dials down. Thank you. And just ready to get this show started.
Okay, my son's driving, so I'm gonna introduce Mister. Everybody know who Mister is. That's my child. Oh, wait, you driving, Mister? I was gonna introduce you. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Nah. I only
Well, that was a good beginning. I'm your child. I'm an original last boy, the one and only Mister. There's no other last boys. You can finish everything else. These people driving stupid out here. This is crazy. I'm
right,
sorry,
and
y'all.
I want to be crying.
Yeah.
I'm happy to you, so I'm gonna mute you. You just listen. Okay, I'm gonna mute the child and just let her listen. Like she
I
said,
wish you could
she was
see
one of
her.
my first models. 2009 is when Les Elegance kicked off. We had Androgynous magazine first. It was, Nasandra and I, we went out, recruited a bunch of models, and I called the Androgynous Boys, Les Boys, and they're going to have a radio show called Les Boys Radio. They got on me because I had posted a flyer that I was looking for some Les Boys hosts, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I started out with radio in 2009, co-hosting with the Anna Deshawn show, and then I went on and was just co-hosting on other shows, Intellectual Radio, Blog Talk TV, no, Blog Talk Radio, What the Fuck Radio, and a whole host of others. If I forgot you, please forgive me, because it's been about, 11 years now, the magazine and everything. So I'm just excited to be back. We got a whole lot of new shows getting ready to come up. And so tonight is just talking about what's coming up and a little bit about coronavirus. And we're pretty much testing out this new StreamYard, something different. So, the last time we did radio, everybody kept saying they wanted to see us. So y'all see us now, and I'm gonna do what they say when they on live. Come on in. Some come in. Ain't that what they say, y'all? Come on in.
Yes, come on in the room. Come on in. Come on
Yeah,
in.
come on in the
Is
room.
that
Come
what
on
they
in.
said?
Because y'all been asking to see us live. We are live, so y'all need to come on in. And I need to make sure that I posted it correctly. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Right.
moving right along over there to Brittany.
All right. So I guess I forgot to introduce myself, which is crazy. So I am Lady Poetry, also known as Wordplay Bay. Brittany, I've been working with Don and Jessica from Holter Intellectual Properties for a couple years now. So I'm really excited for this. We have a whole weekly lineup of shows that are coming. We're going to have a little something for everybody. So I'm really excited about this. So let's start. I guess our first topic we were kind of get into is just kind of what we'll come back to as far as like what the radio starting at. But a topic, Don, that you wanted to talk about a little bit was the coronavirus and like how everybody's been handling it. How's it affecting your love life, your work life, your social life? Like we're doing like a mental health check in for everybody, so we can go around again and just see like how what's going on. 2020 was crazy. So let's
Yeah, basically for me, it didn't. My life didn't change a whole lot. It continued. I've been working through the pandemic. Nah, I ain't gonna say unfortunate because I love the fact that I still have a job. But my life did not stop. It didn't stop at all. I still work. Matter of fact, I end up working more hours. I end up
mm,
on 6 days with only having Saturday off last year because we was getting ready to bring the radio show back up last year, but it got delayed because of the virus. Um, Brittany know the whole ATL bus company, everything just right when we was right there getting ready to kick everything off, everything kind of coronavirus just shut down that side. But the regular punching the clock, my life did not stop. It didn't stop at all. A little bit of cabin fever though, because I'm an introvert. I do like to go to one or two places, and I didn't have the option to go to those one or two places. So that's pretty
right.
much it. It changed my life.
Okay. What about you, Stoney? How did it affect your life?
Well, let's start with the life of intimacy. I actually wound up meeting my now partner. I met her prior to Corona, but I had the opportunity to really get to know her during that quiet time because God sheltered me to myself and her to herself and sheltered us together where we could actually communicate without any other outside sources or thoughts or energies. So that was a good thing. The other good thing that happened is God sheltered me enough for me to live my purpose and do what I'm called to do. I'm a woman of many talents. I build furniture, I make clothes, I work out, I do motivational speaking. I've worked with Don as far as acting and just a number of things. But when you are gifted, of course, God will give you a lot of other gifts. But He wanted me to focus in on this one particular gift, and it was one from childhood, and it's sewing. And during this pandemic, actually, I built a business and wind up with over $30,000 worth of equipment in less than a year during the pandemic, um, to be able to sew and create garments for women over 50, because as I mentioned earlier, I'll be 55 pretty soon. And in the retail world, number one, they try to put us in flowers and black, put us in the grave. Basically, we're going to give you some flowers and we're going to give you some black clothes. That's not what women over 50 really want. But at the same time, some of the fashion that's out for the younger women, older women really don't feel comfortable in. We have the confidence and we have the eloquence, but it took somebody like me to bring that to the forefront. So that's what 2020 done for me. Also, the I think one of the other things that most people would not see comfortable is the death angel came in 2020 for two of my family members, and I know that they both left due to coronavirus. One of which was my mother. I spoke to her in 1 week. She was only going for some therapy for her walking stability. And within 5 days, she was gone. She said she couldn't breathe and she was out of here. I had to wrap my heart and my head around that and understand that she was doing more suffering on this end of the Jordan than the end of the Jordan that she's on now. Another was my aunt. She was wheelchair bound, so she's better now than she was here. Because we as adult children, we want to take care of our parents, but believe me, we just don't know how when it comes to medical health and medical conditions. So um, I miss my mother greatly, but I thank God that she was a saved woman. And I believe that she's going nowhere but to a better place. And now I have this opportunity, which again, I've been in association with Don for about 5 or 6 years. And every moment that I've known her, there's nothing but great things that's come through her and with her. And she's always reached out and said, "Hey, I'm about to do this. Let's collab. Let's do something together." And she's seen many of me walk through many of my talents, and she's always found a way to incorporate me. So for that, Don, I thank you. It's been a lot of years, but I believe that this is going to be one of the greatest years for LE Radio and my company and you guys' companies, just all of us as a whole, because she's an unselfish person.
Oh,
So
thank you.
that's what 2020 has done for me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
walking out of
That's
2020
awesome.
like.
Yes, definitely. That's really good to
By
hear.
the way, it's coffee in this cup, y'all. I don't drink. This is coffee.
That's
Well,
tough.
it's cocktails in this cup, y'all, and I do drink.
Cheers.
Okay.
So,
Periods.
Dang, and I have no drink. I need to get one.
okay,
I'm
you
slipping.
know, I came prepared as well.
Right.
So,
All right, Winston, what about yourself? How has 2020 affected you, if it has at all?
It definitely did. There's been a lot of transitions for me. As far as work, I had to work remotely, so it's almost been a year. As far as personally, I've suffered some loss as well. Uh, my stepfather actually passed away, not from corona, but some underlying health conditions. So uh, that happened, and there's been some other personal transitions where it revealed some things about people. So not getting, I want to go there, but yeah, it opened up and closed up some doors for me. So it separated the phony and the fake from the real and the genuine. And that's the best way I can put it. So looking forward to stepping into some new and positive energy, people, things, companies, and LE Radio.
yeah, it definitely
Absolutely.
tested
That's
some.
awesome.
Yeah, it definitely tested some relationships. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. It definitely tested a lot of relationships. I know I myself, I same thing. Got rid of some
Mhm.
people, kind of showed me where some people really are, were in my circle,
Yeah.
and those people I needed to step away from. So it definitely affected me in that way. I've also been fortunate to still be able to work and maintain my income and everything. So or haven't had to deal with any losses personally. So thankful for that. But I'm just really excited because, like Stony, it gave me a lot of time to sit down and be quiet and listen.
Hmm.
Because I'm on my spiritual walk, so when you have so many things going on, it's really hard to sit down and pay attention to what you need to, and that's yourself. So
Yeah.
2020 forced me to sit down and be like, okay, what is it that you really like? What do you really love? What really motivates you? Okay, and then now you need to execute. So that's one of the big things that 2020 taught me, that I'm going to continue to bring into 2021. And I'm super excited to work with everybody. Everybody new. Sin, I'm just meeting you for the first time, but I've heard
I
excellent things
know.
about you. So I'm really excited to work with you, Stony. I've worked with you as well. I always love working with you because you're awesome. And then, of course, Don, too. So it's been really good.
It's something that you guys said that really stuck out with me, Sin and Lady Poetry, is that you had to purge people out of your life in 2020. Personally, I didn't have to do that because God had already purged them out in
Mm,
2019 before
okay.
the zero even came.
Yeah.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So I just got the opportunity to watch everything unfold with people.
Mm.
mm.
But I didn't have to let them go because 2020 let them go automatically
Oh,
because you couldn't live without nobody. You know
Right.
what I mean?
yeah.
Dawn always stayed in touch. She would text and like that. So the people that was supposed to be long time present and long term present, they have been. You know,
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
really
it
good.
definitely tested some. So, outside of the fact that it tested our relationships, what did each one of y'all do to maintain like self-care? Like, what did you do for self-care, and what was your routine to like keep yourself going and motivated, and dealing with the cabin fever. Because I know Nasenja, Stan, you was working from home. I don't know
Yeah.
if I could do it because I tried when it first hit and they was closing down everything, and they said, oh, and everybody was rushing. I never understood why everybody wanted to buy up all the toilet paper though. That I didn't know. I like all the stores throwing out of toilet tissue. But I tried, so I put in to take off work for a week. I said, okay, everybody self-quarantine. I'm gonna take off work a week. I lasted 3 days. The fourth day, I called my job and said, you know what? I'm gonna come back to work because I'm bored. I was off that Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. Well, I made it 4 because I went back to work that Wednesday. I made it 4 days. I was like bored out my mind. So, how did y'all do to maintain like self-care?
I worked out at home because I have equipment at home. So I was working out, and then I bought patio furniture, right? And I was outside looking at nature. I was bird watching. Y'all, I know that sounds weird. Who
No,
bird?
not really.
It doesn't sound weird. I
No,
was out
not
there
at
looking
all.
at the squirrels, the birds. Yes, I was outside in my backyard like I was on vacation. I would take my laptop out there on work time. Yeah, and meditation because I was getting cabin
I
fever. It was
meditate.
bad. Yeah, I was meditating. I was outside and I was working out. That's what I was doing. What about everybody else?
You want to go, lady, or shall I go?
You can go.
Okay, so I actually done just the opposite. I own a gym in my home, and I wouldn't go downstairs.
Oh.
That's how I gained this 30 pounds that I have on me now. But it's okay because I'm one bad bitch, and I know how to get it off anytime I feel like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that all the whole, not even a part, the whole thing. Um, I'm more focused on building this business because God had called me to a thing. And when He calls you to a thing, you don't neglect, especially when you say, God, wherever you send me, I'll go. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do that. So He started providing everything inside this place that I am in, this bubble where He contained me to Himself. He said, I'm going to give you everything that you need right here. You're never going to be bored. You're never going to be without things to do. You're never going to be without a thought. You're never going to be without a feeling or without an energy. And so I did I cry sometimes? Yes. Did I feel lonesome? Not lonely, lonesome sometimes? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I've always, believe it or not, Don, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert with an extrovert voice when I need to have it. Does that make sense then?
It does make
Yeah,
sense.
it makes
I'm
sense.
both. I'm a mixture of both.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you try to talk to me like, as much as people think that, and I have a large audience just like Don, as much as people think I'm an extrovert because I can speak to and in front of people, if you try to approach me, I'll climb in the wall, girl. I swear, at a club,
Really?
I climb in the wall, I go sit back in the corner, I go to the bathroom lots of times and I ain't even got to use the bathroom.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to speak on whether I had cabin fever, I didn't have it because I'm already an introvert. I'm already one that like to stay at home. I've been working from home for almost 20 years. I like being inside my house. In fact, I
So,
like going to get stuff from outside and bring it in my house.
Okay.
Right, I know that's right.
So
yeah, I'm an introvert, but I still have like those couple of places. I like to go to restaurants, and so I couldn't go to the restaurants and
now
try different.
I like to practice chef cooking. So
Mm.
the restaurant is in my kitchen. And plus, see, I have this nasty little thought in my head. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Don't say it.
Okay, so I always be thinking when it comes to restaurants that there's some dude back there cooking and scratching his nuts and then putting his hand back on my food so I can.
Don't give me that visual.
Oh my god.
My mom is never gonna go to another restaurant. You know,
Thank you, Sin.
indeed.
Unless you come over here to my house, because I ain't got no nuts.
You got everything at your house. You got the gym, you got the clothing line, you got
Right.
the chef's kitchen. We gotta come visit.
Yes. You in Atlanta?
No, but I need to visit.
Hmm.
Well,
Oh,
my
girl.
55th birthday is March, first
Okay.
weekend of March.
Okay.
You can come with Don and them.
Yeah. Okay.
She in Chi Town. She's gonna be hosting the Chi City Cafe
Yes,
Okay.
in Chicago. That's what
which
she's
I'm
gonna be.
super excited for.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I
Yeah.
guess for myself, as far as like what I've been doing, meditation still, just doing a lot of that, a lot of sitting with myself. I'm a writer, I'm a poet and a musician, so a
Ooh,
lot of playing on the piano, writing compositions,
right.
writing pieces, a lot of crying, a lot of screaming, a lot of sitting in the grass, just grounding.
Yeah.
Um, I like being in my house, I do, but I also like being outside. So I'm kind of 50-50 split. So what I found myself doing was just taking a ride around the city, not getting out the car, but like literally I like mask up, put everything on, get in the car, and just literally ride around 285, go down to downtown, ride around in neighborhoods I've never been, just to see things. And that kind of gave me this sense of like, okay, I'm outside, it's okay. And then coming back because in Atlanta, we really didn't handle the COVID and lockdown very well. And we didn't have it for very long either because there were still people
Right.
outside at like Piedmont Park, picnicking and doing things when we had the mask order. So that's how I was able to get outside was just to ride around the city, listen to music, meditate, and then come back because I was too afraid to do anything else.
Well, I think in Atlanta, the reason why people didn't take it to heart was because it didn't hit home. It
Hmm.
didn't put nobody in the grave for them, or it didn't put anybody significant to
Right.
them in the grave. Let me speak for myself. I was one of those people that you're talking about.
Hmm.
I would go to Stone Mountain. I would ride my bike. I would walk around the mountain. I was just very nonchalant until my mother died. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, shit, this is for real.
Right.
Because when they had to diagnose her, I promise you on everything, there was nothing wrong with her when she went to the rehab center. But she came out in a body bag. And that's when I took it serious. That's when I started wearing the mask when I would go out. That's when I started putting on some kind of hand protection. But it took someone close to me to leave here to show me that it was real. Because a lot of people have a scientific mind.
Hmm.
If they can't see in reality, they won't believe it.
Right.
There's a
Does that
lot of
make
people.
sense?
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people don't think it's real. So because
Yeah.
like you said, it hasn't affected them. So it's not real to them. So
Well,
I
I
have
was on IG one day and it was a video, and I hate I couldn't get back to the video. It just started playing in there. And he was saying one of the reasons why it had cleared up over in other countries, China and all those other countries, because they did that where they quarantined the entire country.
Hmm.
yeah,
And he was saying that he felt like the coronavirus was here to stay in the US, and he only had one answer or one explanation for that, and why it was here to stay in America and it was not going anywhere. And he said it was because of greed. And I was like, wow, never thought of that. He said because Americans are too greedy. Americans love money more than they love life, and that Americans would not is not willing to stay at home and down everything for that 7 to 10 days because they feel like they're gonna lose money. So
Right.
instead, if and I kind of agree with him, because Americans we love money. We love money,
and we
but
Yep.
can't sit down either, Don.
huh?
We can't sit down.
Right. Love money, can't sit down. And that's what he was saying. He said that was one of the main reasons why America, it was here to stay, and it would be clear in other countries because greed. We don't have the patience or anything to sit still and to not, stay home and lose money. We fear losing money. Everything is about money for us.
But my thing is also too with those other countries, they had a government that provided for them. So they were in quarantine, and then they had a government that
I was
provided for them when they were missing out that income. So
That's true,
it's,
Brittany.
to me, it's a lot. I think it's a lot on the government side too, because I mean, you figure, you, most Americans, a large percent of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Then we have this pandemic, so where now people are losing jobs. So you give people $1,200, which is barely enough. That's not, which is barely enough to satisfy anything, and then that's it for months on end until recently. You give everybody what, $600,
Yeah.
and not even everybody that you gave the $1,200 to, because the people, some of the people you gave the $1,200 to, didn't even qualify for the 600.
but
So
this is the
during that
thing.
whole time, yes,
I definitely want to chime in on that because, first of all, the other countries, they set their people up to know how to budget and finance, deal with finance and money. They educate their people. The second thing is Canada, for one, they gave their people $2,000 a month and they're still doing it.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
Americans are not greedy. We're trying to survive, and then we're also living in not only a pandemic but a Afrocentric uh, uh, place where they're discriminating against us as well, even more so than ever before. I mean, we're living back from the 400 years ago right now.
Hmm.
So not only are they not giving us money, they're trying to do away with our race and our culture and steal our culture. And I mean, I can name all of these things that is it is because of, like you said, Brittany, the government and not giving the assistance that the American people need. I mean, who in a free can live off of $1,200? That's $1 a month.
and and it ain't cheap to live in Atlanta no more. Not compared to
yeah,
when I first came down here 20 years ago. When I first came down here in 2000, I was in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had a eat-in kitchen, a separate dining room. It was a bathroom, like 1.5 bath. It was huge. I think that apartment had to be something like 1,400 square feet. I was paying $540 for this apartment. I did not
yeah,
have a water bill. My light bill every month ran me about $70, $80 a month. Now that same apartment complex that in 2000, I understand it's 20 years later, things don't change, but that same apartment right now, for that same apartment, they want $1,900 a month for it.
Oh
And
wow.
I looked at it, and all they did was throw in a new fridge and stove. It's still pretty changed to some new carpet, but it's still, everything is still the same. But now they want not even triple, probably, I don't even know what to say, but it was $1,900 for that same apartment that I paid $530 for in 2000. So a lot of people, and I was telling people when they was talking about moving here, and then Tyler Perry ain't making no better because now they want to call it Little Black Hollywood, but T.I. and them don't live in Atlanta. They all live on the outskirts. So now
yeah,
everybody wants to run down here. The city is overcrowded. I think it's what, like 6 point some million people in the city of Atlanta by itself.
Mhm.
So people took advantage, and I love Atlanta. It is a beautiful city. It is my second home. The you already know. And anybody else that know me, yeah, I love Atlanta. I love Chicago as well. It is a beautiful city, but I cannot do the winters there. If it was not for
me neither.
the snow, I would be there because I love Atlanta, but Chicago is a much more beautiful city. The landscaping and everything, Lakeshore Drive, the beaches, the water, the downtown, it is a beautiful city. But I cannot do that fucking snow. I can't do that snow. Um, So yeah, it's not cheap to live in Atlanta no more. You come down here, you better be prepared to spend some money. Even in the hood, you paying. It's not cheap to live in Atlanta. It costs about equal to living in Chicago or anywhere else.
It's
But I,
changed.
I think that, like we were talking about before, when it came to the other countries, they gave them liberal space and enough finance. They took money out of the government, and the government was not trying to hoard the money, and they were allowing them to um, be in quarantine and not worry about whether they was going to be evicted. whether
Right.
they were not going to be able to eat, whether they were not going to be able to have toilet paper and Lysol. You never heard the other countries complain about toilet paper and Lysol and sanitizer. You never heard them complain about that. They started making music from one apartment to another across the way and all of this stuff.
Yeah,
I
we
can
did.
do that.
We as Americans, we was like, either we're going to have to kill, rob, and steal,
Mm-hmm.
push people around. Oh, well, let's go ahead and incorporate racism in there now with that thing that was in office. So we have
No,
all.
number 45.
He ain't even a number no more. He's an absolute zero with a big goddamn L in front of his whole first name, middle name, and last name. But my point being is that they did not give the American people what we needed. Then we were talking about the people that got the $1,200 that may not have deserved it. They did deserve it because at some point or another, their ancestors worked for it. And the government has hoarded money out for the whole 400 years. So if you got to get your 12 acres and a mule this way, then sugar get it. But what I did not like is some of these people, because they are not psychologically equipped with mental financing, they went out and bought TVs. I'm
They
like, what are you
always go
doing
buy
right now?
TVs.
You hear me?
Right
That is
now,
true.
they're at Walmart now buying TVs with the $600 stimulus.
That
You
Right.
is
see
true.
what I'm
I
saying?
Yeah.
seen it.
The Walmart by my job, I seen people with TVs and stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I had posted that comment up there. She was saying that Texas, Houston was the place to be.
Yes,
So I was
H-Town.
just posting
I've
a
never
comment.
been to Houston.
Hey,
In
Zach,
Houston,
thanks for joining.
Yeah, I've never been
yeah,
to
I've been
Houston.
to
Never
Houston.
been there.
Um, I almost was gonna live there back before I came back down here in 2015. Y'all had a job, office, everything, good money,
Mhm.
but it was kind of like too spaced out for me, and I ended up coming back to Atlanta. I was at Fort Hood though, so Killeen is a beautiful city, and so is Austin. Houston was kind of too spread out for me.
Is it slow?
Beautiful,
Is Houston slow compared to Chicago?
yeah. Atlanta's slow compared to Chicago.
Well, yeah, I know Atlanta is.
So,
It,
Spin,
yes.
for you, what do you think about, because you had kind of touched on, I guess, in your city, they're buying irrelevant stuff with their stimulus. But do you think it's even enough to really? Now, I invested in my business, but I have a business mindset. But in your city, do you think that they were psychologically stimulated enough not to make the choice that they made? Because I mean, where are you going to take that TV when they open up the government for them to do the evictions?
I don't think they were mentally ready or have the mindset, like you said, you invested in yourself. But this is what they do when they get the refunds. Some of the people, this is what they look forward to all year is a refund. And when they get their refund, what do they go do? They go buy TVs, they go buy Jordans, they go buy these frivolous things. They don't buy stocks. They don't invest in companies. Oh, let me set up my retirement. People don't think like that. So why would they think about it for with a stimulus check?
So I have a question, if y'all don't mind me asking. Through this pandemic, have your financial mindset changed?
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Because one particular day I had a
it
meeting over
definitely
here
changed.
brainstorming about businesses and having multiple streams of revenue
It,
coming in besides my job, because that's not it. So I mean, I've been thinking about this for years, but like you said, I'm sitting here in the house and I'm like, okay, I need to make this happen. I need to put it in motion instead of just talking about it year after year. So I can relate to what you said about you sat down, but you actually got your businesses going. But I started researching and trying to put things in motion.
See,
So
it hasn't changed my mindset around money. It's just confirmation because I've always been the one that there's multiple. I've always had to seen that vision of having multiple incomes, like multiple streams of income, because as 2020 taught a lot of people, having one stream of income is very close to having zero. because once that one's gone, that's it. And so it was confirmation to me. It was also confirmation to a lot of my friends where I've had multiple conversations like, hey, sis, bro, you need to start that business, start that blog, start this, start that. So then 2020 hit, and now it's, oh, well, can you help me with this? Or what should I do for this? So it was confirmation for me and a lot of other people. And so I'm glad. Like, I don't think 2020 was like this horrible, oh my God, we went to hell thing. I actually thought it did a lot of good for a lot of people because it gave people that jolt start to be thinking, okay, well, maybe I need to do just more. Like, what I'm doing is not working. I need to change.
Enough. Hmm.
I think also the from the 2016 to the 2020, one of the statements that Frog made was, "I'm going to make America great again." And I must
Mhm.
pat his dumb bald head ass on the head because he did it. The way that he made America great again is he turned every country against America so that you would go into business for yourself, because now Americans had to depend on Americans. But this is the other thing that I say, through that pandemic, there was a lot of black women and a lot of black men and a lot of black children that started businesses. So I'm saying, are
Yep.
we advocating to continue to support black businesses now that he done made America great again? Because he sure made it great. He made it great for me because I launched a business of first face masks and then making this and making that, making dominoes, you name it.
Hmm.
Like, beans, greens, tomatoes, you name it. So that in 2020, that actually purged out new business, new
Mhm.
ideas, new concepts. And black people was always strong in the mind and strong in the creative and strong in the muscle and strong in building. So I'm wondering if this pandemic is going to push us and catapult us to continue to do business with each other.
I
I
think so, because
I
I
think
think there's
so
a
too.
lot more conversation around it now. Because I think before, like a lot of people, they would see like their friends doing businesses, but they really wouldn't really patronize their friends for one reason or another. And I think also too, a lot of business owners, from what I've seen, is that a lot of people are pandering to too small of an audience. So it's like I said, I think 2020 definitely kind of forced people into the limelight and like, hey, you need to think about things different because again, as you just noticed, we had a whole pandemic, everything switched on a dime. So now you need to figure this out. And it's no longer feasible for you to, rob Peter to pay Paul. You need to figure this
Yep.
out now. So that hustle mentality that we innately have, it had to be kicked into overdrive for a lot of people.
You can't.
So I think it will carry through.
Right,
I'm hopeful that it
right.
carries through.
So I'm sorry.
No, you
Um, yeah, and with the bus company, it the pandemic happened, but then we had a situation because we had just gotten contracts with casinos and stuff to do trips and everything. People brought, tickets, everything was going fine. And but the guy that we was leasing from at the time was being an asshole, and he ended up wasn't truthful with the owners of where we were renting that. Yeah, I'm saying this on live. He wasn't truthful. He was. I'm not gonna say his name, but he wasn't truthful.
Hmm.
So we was in the process where we had broke the contract with him. Brittany, no, we broke the leasing contract with him. Now this started in December.
Mhm.
We was just going back and forth. So we end up breaking that contract. So come um January, he was like, it wasn't gonna work. So we decided to go our separate ways. He, gave me back my deposits and everything. So I got all my money back. So it was like right after that, we had went, Brittany and I went out, looked at some more locations, found a really beautiful location and everything.
Mhm.
So we had the money, getting ready to go get a lady the money. The lady didn't answer the phone. Then when I was supposed to meet her, something came up. Let's reschedule the meeting. Boom, this, that, and it's like something just wouldn't let me go take this woman this money for this new location. Right after
Mhm.
that, I was like, all right, Brittany, here go your money back. I took my money back. We went in, gave her money back. We said, okay, I'm gonna give her part back. I'm gonna take my part and put it to the side. And We just gonna wait, and we were still looking. Boom, the pandemic hit.
Yep.
It wasn't even like, I mean, what was it? Bring me like 2 weeks later, everything shut
Probably.
down, buying up all the toilet paper and went down. And all we was like was, oh my God. See, everything happens for a reason. I so believe everything happened for a
Me
reason.
too.
The whole mess with him. At first I was kind of pissed, but then I was okay when we found the new location. Then the lady she was kind of annoying because I'm like, do you want this motherfucking money or don't you? Like, what are you doing? Not on our damn money. Like, we trying to give you money. Do you want this money or do you not want this money? But every time I was supposed to meet with her, something just kept coming up. 2 weeks later, the pandemic hit. So now everything shut down. Now all of a sudden she available. I'm looking at her like, lady, I don't want to rip. The world just shut the fuck down. And now you want to take I don't think so. So everything, worked out for the better. The people who had purchased tickets, I issued them a refund, and it pretty much that worked out in our favor at that time because we would have been stuck in the lease. The casinos had closed down, the museums, everybody I made contracts with to do the charters to their services, they had all shut down. So yeah, we would have just been stuck. So yeah, everything happened for a reason. Because I'm like, we would have been paying for an empty building or something we couldn't use. But I'm sure they had different plans or something to get out. But I had posted Suge Ward's comment up there because she said she have a business and it was very successful even during the pandemic. So I was sharing her comment. But yeah,
Actually, she owns I believe she owns a horse ranch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
she owns horses.
really?
nice.
That's cool.
And that's an amazing thing to have as a black woman, because you don't hear of many black female cowgirls or
No, you don't.
and especially owning a whole ranch, you definitely don't. That's not commonplace. So congratulations to you.
Yes,
Okay, and I
congratulations.
posted
Congratulations,
another young lady.
Lynette, too. Lynette.
Yes, that's my sister right there. Yeah, she's another person that fully took advantage of that. I'm gonna get my business started together. She's another business mind. She's from New York originally, but lived in Atlanta for quite some time. And she's another one that's like got a mind for business, and I'm so excited to see her business flourish too.
But like I was saying earlier, not only do we need to have individual businesses, but now that we do have the power back again, and whether y'all believe it or not, we are the chosen people, and we
Oh,
do have the power in our
Yeah.
hands at this point. And no, I own group homes as well for special needs 7 years
Oh,
running. Oh,
nice.
okay, okay, I don't
yeah.
know about the horses.
Okay.
Um, but
Where you
I
get
hope that
from,
we can.
Well,
Tony? Where you get
congratulations.
from?
Don,
Can
you
y'all?
keep going in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you are so sarcastic sometimes. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? But I will hope that we can collaborate and do business together. I hate when in the past so many people have said black people can't do business together. I challenge that. I
Yeah.
challenge that we can do business together. It's because we've been psychologically, mentally conditioned by. I'm not gonna say it because I would because I'm very pro black.
I can tell.
Damn, I just said it.
We can
Okay, so,
tell.
I
but
can tell.
I know that
As
we
you should
can
be.
do
And that's
business
okay.
together. And the reason they don't want us to do business together is because we will take over not only this country, but the whole world.
Exactly. And I agree.
So I would hope in 2021, not only is a woman looking out for her own household, but looking out for the black community as a whole and say, hey, Brittany, I need to do business. You have what I need because I don't want to do it. Let's do business. Like Don was talking about how honorable She was. I don't know if y'all heard it in her commentary, but she was saying not only did I build a relationship with several businesses and it wasn't able to happen, but I still have my connection to those resources.
Yeah.
And this was the bigger part of the commentary that I heard. I gave all those people their money back that paid me in advance. Do you know what kind of business that builds? What kind of loyalty and relationship that builds?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So guess what? I want to go on a trip with her because I know she'll be honorable.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely gave them the money back. It was sitting, we used the Eventbrite and the money was it was sitting there. So as soon as I knew that it was closed down, a couple of people hit me up. Somebody I tried to send it to and it just kept bouncing. It kept bouncing back. I sent her several emails, but yeah, I just sent it back to them. And some people didn't even have to ask. I just sent it back because what I didn't want to happen is say 2021 come and now business back up and running and I didn't give them their money back because what I've learned is when you do something negative, that with gossip, man, anything negative, man, it'll reach 1 million people within 2.2 seconds. Let
Right.
somebody post a video right now, some girl getting her ass beat. That shit going viral. And I know I'm the only one on here cursing.
No.
no, I was the other one.
Tony was cursing too.
You don't tell on me like that, right?
I wanted y'all to say hello to Tabitha because I want to
Hi, Tabitha.
get her on the show.
Hey there,
That's
hey.
Tabitha. That's the voice, baby. That's
Huh?
the voice. That girl could
I
sing you.
figured you'd know who she was. That's why I put her name up there. Okay. Yeah, because
Don.
I didn't want that negative thing to follow the business. So I just gave it back. So that way, and then once we back up and running, they'll say, oh, well, she gave me my money back again. Like you said, Stoney, they'll come back.
And that's just professionalism and that's one of the things that I tell friends that have their businesses and when they're dealing with people who are particularly difficult or people that are asking for refunds, why go back and forth and why argue with somebody? It's just professional and it's just business. If something happens, unfortunate, you can apologize and make amends for it, like you said, and that nurtures that. So in the future, I know, okay, well, this didn't really pan out, but because they gave me my money back, because they were communicative with me and honest and transparent about it, I trust their business. So now anything going forward, like you said, word of mouth works. Everything goes viral. All negativity goes viral every day, all day.
It sure do.
So now it
Yeah.
emboldened people to still work with the company and everything else. So that's how it should be. But I agree, Black, we have to look out for each other. Like I am my brother and my sister's keeper. So if at any point, at any purchase, any point of sale that I'm at, if I could choose to work with someone who looks like me and is a part of my community, I'm going to do that before, first and foremost, before everything, because that's the main thing we need to start doing is making sure that our dollars circulate within our community first before it goes out, because that's what a lot of other communities do. They circulate the money inward first before it has to leave their community, whereas with us, I think it lasts a couple seconds before we're handing it to somebody else. We need to keep some of our money with us,
Yeah,
and I think that will help us a lot.
that was dismantled during slavery. So
Yeah.
that's where that comes from.
But you know what? We have sat in silence for a whole year, so we can do better, and we can undo what slavery has done because we've had the time to sit with God, sit with ourselves, think about it, meditate on it strongly, see how we needed to get rid of people and rid of things and
Yep.
rid of objects. Louis Vuitton does not live here. Trust and believe. Gucci doesn't live here. None of them live here. I want black-owned business in my house. I want black art. I want black shoes. I want black purses. I want black clothes. I want black wigs. Yes, girl, I'm not going to pull it off because it's glued. Yes. I want black makeup lines. I want everything black in my house.
Yes.
Because we don't have to keep living in a slavery mindset just because it happened. God damn it, it happened already. Fuck that shit. It's done now. Let's make a new revolution. Let's make a new space, a new place. Let's open up some airlines since most of them are closing down now anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We got engineers. We got smart black people out here, smart people of color, not only in the African American community, but we also have them in the Haitian community.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people that, okay, you out of job, out of work. Let's go ahead and create some businesses. Let's go back and create Black Wall Street again, but differently. Let's not sit in one community together because they blew us up back in 1920 when we tried to do that last time.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's sit in different in their communities because they're not going to blow that up. Then again, they might,
I
but they're
mean,
going to be blown up with us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you saw what happened to the Capitol, Capitol
Eh,
Hill a
right.
couple days ago. So, I mean, clearly they're not above
But you know what?
messing.
All they asked is walking home now. And I hope you watch the aftermath of that because they would not allow them to get on planes, buses, and they wouldn't allow them to rent cars either. They told them walk
Okay,
home.
before we go into the
Politics.
upcoming shows, I do no, I got it. It's fine. It's our first show. We just, testing it out. Um and we're gonna let people know when the real shows is coming. This is just LE radio, just testing out the online, playing around with it. We've been playing around with it offline and we need to go online to get a feel for it, but we do have some really good upcoming shows coming up for everybody. But before I go into that, I want to ask this question because I know Stony over there, like my wife, is pro-black, feminist, this, that, and other. The little boy who mother allowed him for H&M to wear, you remember the shirt, the monkey shirt? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I do. I remember.
I
Okay,
think I
I don't
remember.
remember the
It
whole
was an
story.
ad,
You remember
right?
the whole story so that you could ask? Do one of y'all remember that story?
You just
Yeah.
broke up, but I remember the ad. There was a black boy with a monkey shirt on for H&M,
Yeah, it was a hoodie he had on.
and it was an advertisement.
Stoney, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I I did not see that.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
come back to that on another show when we on coffee talk having our coffee. I'll come back to that because I definitely want your views on it. But pretty much I'm gonna let Brittany start talking. We was gonna have one person on here from each show to introduce their shows tonight, but Mr. Driving, I ain't want my son driving. Something happened to it. I'll be over here crying, y'all. I was so why?
Oh, Lord.
I'm dramatic. I'm dramatic, so I'll be laid out somewhere crying, but I won't be on Facebook on live crying in the camera. I won't do that. I just be on the phone crying. So we have some really great shows coming up for everybody. We do.
Yeah.
Like I said, the pandemic, I pretty much was sitting back brainstorming. Brittany know, Nasenja know, Stony know. I've been going through different platforms because the
Mhm.
original platform that I was using Speaker, and it allowed you to use an external mixer and everything. So about, I want to say a year ago, they switched it early, like right before the pandemic. It's like leaving out of 2019, going to 2020, something just happened. So I want to say about the fall of that around that time, they changed the platforms. So I had been, spending a lot of time. I took a lot of time during the past year, the pandemic, to find a lot of different, tried a lot of different platforms and things like that, and how to get and to reconnect with Nasenja because she is in Chicago, and we hosted Les Elegance Radio, and we was on Intellectual Radio in Chicago. Shout out to Earl. He taught us a lot, taught me a lot. Shout out to him again because he's how I found out about StreamYard. So we are gonna be doing some stuff to put on his show as well, and that's Intellectual Radio. So shout out to him. And I kind of like just been playing around with this. I was a little nervous because I'm usually don't like to be in front of camera. So I'm really stepping out and doing something different, or coronavirus and cabin fever just said, okay, go live, because I usually don't like to be in front of camera. So trying something different. And so far, I think I'm gonna like this. I think I'm gonna like this. So our show we're gonna have on Thursdays is gonna be Coffee Talk. And if everybody who's watching, I'm sorry, across the bottom, you keep seeing that to say join our social media, coffeetalk.com. Coffee.com is another social media page that my wife and some guy, don't ask me what his name was because I can't pronounce it, created another social site for mature people. So if you would join us over there, it's free speech. You're not restricted. If you got something you want to sell, we're trying to build that Black community, like they said. If you got something you want to sell, whatever, join us on there. You're free to sell it, whatever. It's like free. It's like not a whole lot of restrictions. Like, we didn't have all these restrictions on here before, but we got a lot of them, and a lot of other stuff and changed on Facebook right now that I don't think people realize. But yeah, so that'll be Coffee Talk Radio, and that will be Stony, Lady Poetry. I'll be in and out with them, and that's on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Sunday will be Les Boys Radio, and that will be Mr. and my son BJ, my son Mr. And I might see if I can get a couple of the other original Les Boys to hop in on that show. And then the ATL mix of Brittany.
Yes,
That's
so
what,
ATL
right?
makes it Friday night. So that'll be Friday night. We have four amazing hosts. It's really like a mixed crowd of just women on there talking like women do. So it is on Friday nights, starting I believe at I think it's 7, I believe.
No, not they 9 p.m. The
Oh no,
ATL
yes,
mix
they're
is
9
9.
p.m. Yeah, so the ATL mix is 9 p.m. So definitely in tune with that. And then we also, well, Miss Sin can introduce herself since she's here with us.
Well, I'm not quite sure of the time because Don, you seem like you gave my time away to the Les Boys. This
Oh,
Oh,
uh-oh. Les boys might have to
I
watch
got
out now.
confused.
I was supposed, I was supposed to talk to you about what time.
Yeah, you're just like the Les Boys. I mean, what happened to me? My slot.
Okay, we'll discuss that offline.
Yeah, we're gonna get that together, but I have a show too.
Okay,
Okay.
this show is supposed to be at 7, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and my co-host, I'm working on that. We're working on so more information coming. Okay.
Okay.
So tune in to Don's page, Brittany's page for more
Yeah,
information.
y'all,
My page it's temporarily down right now. I'm cleansing. So
yeah, she's cleansing. Y'all can follow
yeah.
us at Ellie Radio Live. I think
Yeah.
I gotta
Ellie
go and
Radio Live
refresh my
on
own thing.
Facebook as well as Instagram is at Ellie Radio Live. Please log on to coffeetalk.com. Like she said, it's another social media, but it doesn't have as many restrictions as Facebook. That is that community based social media platform you can go on. There'll be I think we're talking about doing like a dating site with it. Like there's gonna be a lot of different things all about community on that site. You can get recordings of this show and everything else like that to go on the show, any of our other shows. So I would send with her Shy City. And then we have the ATL Mix, you have Coffee Talk, you have the Les Boys, and we have a few others that are going to be coming through as well. So on all of our social media platforms, you can tune in. And definitely be abreast of all that. Also, indie artists, if you want music played, because we can play music. If you want to be a guest on any of the shows, you can always send a short clip bio, your information, and a picture to our email address, which is leradio2010 at gmail.com. And that'll send to us, and we can review it and we can set up a time to reach out to you and see what radio show you would like to be a part of. And like I said, any artist, if you want your music out, definitely send those sound clips to that same email address, which again, leradio2010 at gmail.com.
And
One thing
down
I
there,
want to add, I know that I did not ask Don, but I do want to add this again. It's all about Black business, supporting Black business, and this woman is in business with this radio station. I know she would love to support finance. Let me be clear, financial support. She doesn't need us, but she would like for us to help because it takes money to run a radio show. It takes money to have show hosts and guests brought in. It takes money to build the equipment that's necessary for you guys to enjoy what we do, the content that we bring you. It's not about you giving, but it's about you supporting your community as lesbians, as Black people, as people of color, as LGBTQAI people. So I'm sure she would appreciate your financial contributions, your gifts, and I'm sure that Brittany and Don will be able to give you some information to be able to send your contributions to. She's a woman of business and a woman that is legit. As you heard her say, she gave money back to people she didn't really have to give it back to, but she did. So you know that she's going to only build or continue to build a quality station for our community so that your voice can be heard and so that we can speak on your behalf when necessary.
Thank
Absolutely.
you again. That's Ashley down there, that beautiful little pic. She's the main host
Hey, Ashley.
for Ashley for the ATL mix. Unfortunately she's not able to come in and join us, but she was I was showing the comment. Oh, y'all can't see me. I'm touching the computer. She was saying it's 9 p.m. on Fridays.
So
So
you still got your time, Sin.
I'm pointing and touching the like y'all can't see that. So that's 9 p.m. She was saying she can't talk right now. Get on here to talk. Uh, so yeah. So anybody have anything else they want to say before we get ready to get up out of here? We went a little over, but that's fine. Like I said, it's our first show. Sin, you look like you want to talk. Go ahead.
I do. So officially, we are launching Friday, right?
Yes.
That's the official launch. Oh, right, Don?
Well, Thursday will be our show, so Coffee
Thursday.
Talk will be Thursday. So technically, Thursday will be the first day of the official launch of this coming week,
Okay.
and everything else. So it will be Thursday night with Coffee Talk Radio, Friday night with ATL Mix, and then Sunday we have both your show as well as the Les Boys.
Okay. All I have to say is everybody please support all of the shows. Okay.
Absolutely.
You're at home. Even if you're not at home, you might be at work sitting at a desk. Listen, support. That's free. Support is free. That's
Hmm.
all I have to say about that.
Right. And for those, if you won't be at home, you will have the option to listen to it via the LE Radio app. You will have the option to listen that way as well if you're unable to visually watch us.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it, people. We appreciate those that tuned in. So now that we know it looks good to me. It looks
Yep.
good to you. So this is the beginning. So I'll see y'all on Thursday.
Yes.
Seeing on
All right.
Sunday. Shy
Yep.
City Cafe. Ain't that sexy?
Sky City Cafe.
Right.
Okay.
And ATL Mix. Coffee Talk. Yeah, I like the names. I really like the
Yes.
names. So yeah, doing something. But like I said, Shy City Cafe is looking for a co-host. And we want that host to be in Chicago. If you didn't know, Shy City, that's representing my shit city, where I'm from. And they'll be, covering stuff that happens in Chicago and that community up there. So we
And
definitely,
miscellaneous. So
right. You
you
have to
might
be in
be surprised.
Chicago.
Every show is going to be a surprise. Okay.
Right. You have to be in Chicago. It's a sexy show, but you have to be in
Yeah.
Chicago. Um, Coffee Talk, you don't. Les Boys,
But
it's,
that's just for the host, Don. If you want to be a guest, they don't have to live in Chicago.
Oh, no.
For
oh
Shy
no, they
City.
can be a guest.
I'm just letting them know. They don't, yeah, for a guest or you want to be interviewed or you have a business, you don't have to live in Chicago, just the host. So anybody interested in being a host, they told you the contact information.
Yes.
This gonna be committed.
Right. If you have music video that you want played on here, we could also, if you're an artist, we could play music videos. Share your music video while we are live and interviewing you. We can share and promote videos. If you're a poet, we are looking to bring back the poetic soul artistry with Lady Poetry. So if you're a poet, we ready. We here for it in 2021.
And again,
And so
that email address to send all of your information again is leradio2010 at gmail.com. Again, that's leradio2010 at gmail.com.
All right.
yep. So that's pretty much it. Just make sure again you go and join us at coffeetalk.com and you'll get all the time and updates to keep updated or get more details. Reach out to us, whatever. If you want to inbox any of us, you can inbox us. And next time I'll do the thing. So that's pretty much it, people. Good
All
night.
right.
All right.
Have
We
a good
logging out.
week.
Have a good night, everyone.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for everybody joining.
Thank you.
Oh, wait.
Huh?
We're waiting.
I hit end broadcasting.